The grocery aisle feels like a safe bet until the truth behind those premium, midnight black labels comes to light. Beneath the patriotic flags and rustic farmhouse logos lies a corporate house of horrors. These gleaming packages hide a world of moldy processing walls, hidden metal fragments, and massive water weight scams. Major brands aren't selling a morning meal, they are selling a nostalgia tax masked by aggressive salt and industrial chemicals. We are stripping away the marketing masks to expose the bacon giants gambling with health and hard-earned paychecks. Let's start with these 7 grocery bacon brands ripping you off blind. Number 1, Borshead, the premium biohazard. Next time you're reaching for that premium black label at the deli counter, stop. You aren't just paying a luxury tax, you might be gambling with your life. Borshead spent decades building a reputation as the gold standard for American families, but in 2024, that elite image collapsed into a national biohazard. A massive listeria outbreak traced back to their plant in Jarrett, Virginia, claimed 10 lives and sent dozens to the hospital across 19 states. When federal inspectors finally walked through those doors, they didn't find a high-end facility, they found a house of horrors. The official reports describe shocking conditions: mold growing on the walls, puddles of blood on the floor, and actual insect infestations near the meat. Even more disturbing, the USDA had flagged 69 safety violations in that single year, yet production didn't stop until people started dying. Despite charging nearly double what competitors do, Borshead used the same cheap nitrates and natural celery powder shortcuts found in budget brands. It turns out premium was just a marketing mask for corporate neglect. Number 2, Smithfield Farmland, the flag masquerade. You might see an American flag on a package of Smithfield bacon, but that flag is a massive corporate mask. In 2013, a Chinese meat giant called WH Group bought Smithfield for nearly $5 billion. This wasn't just a business deal, it was a national security event. Suddenly, a foreign entity controlled almost a quarter of the entire US pork supply. Lawmakers were stunned, but the buyout went through anyway, and the quality of your breakfast has been paying the price ever since. Since the takeover, the complaints have been rolling in. To inflate profits, Smithfield started using heavy water injection. When you throw those slices in the pan, they shrivel up like wet paper because you're literally paying bacon prices for tap water that evaporates. It gets worse. The brand Farmland is just Smithfield wearing a different costume. They use the same factories and the same industrial farms that have been sued for dumping millions of gallons of pig waste into local creeks. Don't let the farm fresh labels fool you. It's corporate cynicism at its peak. Number 3, Oscar Mayer, the childhood memory destroyer. Your childhood breakfast is being hijacked by a corporate chemistry experiment. Oscar Mayer used to be the name families trusted for a reliable Saturday morning, but that legacy is fading one see-through slice at a time. The brand has become a textbook case of shrinkflation. While prices at the register keep climbing toward $10, the actual meat in the package is vanishing. Many shoppers report finding packs that are 80 to 90% pure white fat, leaving you with nothing but a puddle of grease and a few shriveled ribbons of pork. The betrayal goes deeper than just bad slicing. In 2025, a massive recall hit over 300,000 pounds of their turkey bacon due to listeria concerns. Even when it isn't being recalled, customers are finding slimy textures and gray discoloration inside unopened packs well before the expiration date. The new resealable bags often fail to stay shut, forcing you to buy your own Ziploc bags just to keep the product from rotting. It isn't just bacon anymore. It's overpriced, unreliable, and a shadow of its former self. Number 4, Kirkland Signature Costco, the return counter regular. Stop treating your Costco card like a guarantee of quality. You've seen the line at the return counter lately, and there's a reason it's packed with opened packs of Kirkland Signature bacon. This former warehouse staple has suffered a stunning fall from grace, crashing from a bulk buy hero to one of the most refunded items in the grocery department. The consistency has completely collapsed. You might open one pack to find thick, beautiful slabs, only to find the very next one is a shredded, slimy mess of paper-thin ribbons. The secret behind this decline is likely who is actually making it. Industry insiders point to a massive sourcing shift towards Smithfield, the same company plagued by water weight scams. When you try to peel these slices apart, they don't separate. They fuse together and tear, leaving you with pork confetti instead of a breakfast side. Even the vacuum seals are failing, leading to discoloration and a gamey aftertaste that hits you the moment the plastic opens. If you're still gambling on this formerly trusted brand, you're just paying for a trip back to the return line. Number 5, Jimmy Dean, the metal and hair file. Think twice before you let the king of breakfast sausage handle your morning bacon. Jimmy Dean built an empire on patties and links, but their transition into the bacon aisle has been a total disaster for the American consumer. This isn't just about bad flavor. It's about a metal and hair file that should make your stomach turn. Recent reports have uncovered horrifying contamination issues, including metal and plastic fragments embedded directly into the meat. Even their breakfast sandwiches have faced a wave of complaints regarding hair found inside the packaging, raising massive red flags about the sanitation in their production plants. When you actually get a clean pack, the experience doesn't improve. The bacon is engineered with so many artificial additives that it leaves a strange, sticky chemical residue on your teeth. It's so greasy that your frying pan ends up looking like an industrial oil slick, and the slices are often so thin they shred into a messy pile the moment you try to separate them. If you're tired of corporate giants cutting corners on your health, hit that like button and subscribe so we can keep exposing the truth together. It's time to stop paying for greasy failures and start demanding real quality. Number 6, Cracker Barrel, the ghost producer. Don't let that old-fashioned country porch fool you into thinking there's a smokehouse behind the scenes. Cracker Barrel is pulling a massive fast one on the American consumer by selling you ghost-produced bacon. While the package promises country charm, the restaurant chain doesn't actually make a single slice of this meat. They simply license their famous name to massive third-party industrial processors who use the same high-speed, low-quality shortcuts as the cheapest brands on the shelf. You aren't paying for craftsmanship, you're paying a nostalgia tax for a logo that has nothing to do with the product inside. Once you rip open the plastic, the country quality evaporates into a mess of high sodium and excessive water injection. Customers are reporting a chemical aftertaste that belongs in a laboratory, not a farmhouse. Cracker Barrel rotates through different corporate suppliers. The consistency is a total gamble. One week you might get a decent breakfast, and the next you're staring at a pile of greasy, shriveled ribbons that cost $2 more than the store brand. It's corporate cynicism wrapped in a checkered tablecloth. Number 7, Hormel Black Label, the sodium bomb. The next time you're seduced by that sleek, midnight black packaging, remember that premium is often just a code word for a massive salt screen. Hormel Black Label is banking on you buying the prestige, but your taste buds are about to be hit by a total sodium bomb. They aren't selling you high-quality pork. They're using aggressive salt levels as a chemical crutch to mask aging meat and cut rate curing methods. Longtime fans have watched this brand's reputation melt away in the pan, replaced by a harsh aftertaste that lingers long after breakfast is over. The deception gets even worse when you actually do the math on your breakfast. While the label boldly promises 30 slices, frustrated shoppers are opening packs to find as few as 15, meaning you're paying a luxury tax for half the promised product. Keep an eye out for that strange white residue bubbling out of the strips. It's a major red flag for poor processing. While this black label pricing is a clever trick, it's only one side of the coin. The bonus brand on this list is playing a different game entirely, turning your supposed savings into a pan full of grease before you even take a bite. Number 8, the store brand trap. The cold case at your local Kroger or Food Lion is a masterpiece of psychological warfare. You see that $2 gap between the name brand and the store label, and it feels like a small win for your weekly budget. But the moment those budget strips hit a hot pan, the store brand trap snaps shut. You aren't actually paying for meat, you're paying for tap water and white fat engineered to inflate the package weight. These budget lines, along with regional players like Hatfield, often source from the cheapest industrial processors in the country, using high-pressure moisture injection to trick the scale. Once the heat hits, the science of the scam reveals itself. Your bacon shrivels to half its size, swimming in a massive pool of grease because the fat-to-meat ratio is often a staggering 80%. You might save a few dollars at the register, but when you calculate the actual edible yield, you're paying a premium for a product that lacks smoke depth and uniform slicing. One pack might be passable, while the next is a slimy, paper-thin mess that burns before it even crisps. In the end, these budget brands aren't a bargain. They're a false economy designed to turn your grocery budget into expensive grease. Tired of corporate scams? Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for these 3 brands, which actually deliver real quality. Number 1, Right Brand, the supermarket king. Are you tired of the water weight scam? Look no further than the undisputed king of the supermarket aisle. Right Brand is the gold standard for a reason. They don't hide behind flashy labels or thin see-through plastic. Instead, they use a massive, thick-cut profile that actually holds its shape in the pan. While the competitors turn into a puddle of grease, these slices maintain their integrity. Right uses a real slow-smoking process with actual hickory and applewood. You aren't paying for liquid smoke sprayed on in a factory. You're paying for time and traditional craftsmanship. The difference is in the hand-trimmed quality that avoids the 80% fat ratio found in budget brands. Every pack is consistent, offering meaty slabs that crisp up perfectly without shriveling into salty ribbons. Because they don't rely on heavy moisture injection, you get a much higher edible yield for your dollar. It's the rare corporate brand that still treats the American consumer with respect. When you want a breakfast that actually fills the plate, this is the benchmark for quality. Number 2, Bentons Smoky Mountain, the artisan standard. High in the misty hills of Tennessee, a small wooden smokehouse is quietly putting the billion-dollar meat giants to shame. Alan Benton doesn't have a corporate board or a massive marketing budget, but he has a dry curing process that takes months instead of minutes. While the big brands are busy injecting their pork with tap water and liquid smoke, Bentons is rubbing every slab by hand with salt and brown sugar. This is the artisan standard that top chefs across the country fight to get their hands on. When you open a pack of this Smoky Mountain Gold, the intense aroma of real hickory wood fills the entire room. These slices don't shrivel into salty ribbons because they aren't bloated with moisture. They are dense, meaty, and packed with a deep, earthy flavor that has been perfected over decades. You aren't just buying breakfast, you're supporting a legacy of American craftsmanship that refuses to cut corners. It's a bold, intense experience that reminds you what real bacon is supposed to taste like before the factories took over. Number 3, Applegate Naturals, the ethical choice. Step away from the industrial nightmare of concrete pens and crowded metal crates for a moment. Out in the open air, a few dedicated farmers are proving that raising animals with dignity actually produces a superior breakfast. While the massive meat giants are busy cutting corners, Applegate Naturals is busy rebuilding the bond between the land and your plate. They have earned a massive following by flatly rejecting the chemical cocktail found in almost every other brand on this list. You aren't just buying a side of pork, you're investing in a system that values transparency over hidden profits. This is the ultimate ethical choice for families who are tired of mystery hormones and unnecessary antibiotics in their kitchen. Every slice is humanely raised and 100% sugar-free, so it won't turn into a blackened, bitter mess the second it hits the heat. You get a clean, savory flavor that doesn't need heavy salt or fake liquid smoke to hide poor quality. It's an honest product that shows you exactly what natural should mean. When you choose this brand, you're voting for a better food system with every single bite. Stop wasting money on corporate water weight and hidden chemicals. Your breakfast deserves real quality, not a marketing scam. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep your kitchen clean and informed.